What's good, everybody? Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. This light is bright, so let me change that. While you guys are coming in, hello, 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 hello. Oh, that's a little bit better. That's better. That's a little better. Let me turn it off real quick. How are you? How is everybody? Welcome to Closet Chronicles. It's your girl, Tracy Massey. If this is your first time joining live or on the replay, howdy. I am a certified life coach and founder of Certified Grief Coach as well, and founder of Living My Empowered Life. We are a coaching consultation business, helping to get your life all the way together. My specialty is grief, and what I do is I teach women affected by tragedy how to disrupt the cycle of grief. Grief can be a complex, touchy subject, and I'm the woman that you need to come see when you're dealing with it, okay? All right. So if you are new to this page, welcome. Be sure to follow. Be sure to turn your notifications on. If you are a returning follower, viewer, whatever, hey, boo, I love me some of you. I'm so glad to have you here for these few moments on a Saturday night. So I am here. Hey, Kev. I am here to share with you a couple things. One, share my story, as well as share with you things that I do when I'm faced with a grief season. So a little bit about me. I lost my daughter in 2006. She was 13 years old. She wasn't sick. She was playing with some friends and collapsed and was gone. And that started you can imagine, it started a journey for me that I did not ask for, nor was I prepared for. And losing my daughter was the toughest thing I've ever had to endure, but I see now why I had to endure it. We'll talk about that at a later time. But at the time that my daughter passed away, I really didn't have many resources to go to figure out how to navigate this grief. People did what they could with what they had, and I just knew that I needed more. So basically, my losing my daughter birthed this business, and I fought it for a long time. There have been many people who told me for years that I needed to go into this space, and I was like, nah, because nothing about me looks like grief. Can we all agree to that? Nothing about me looks like grief. But it was some wise counsel, some wise people, and God telling me that's why I needed to be in this space. So my daughter passed away in April of 2006. That same year, 2 weeks after my daughter passed away, we buried my aunt, my last living aunt, my mom's last sister. So that year, 2006, was really rough. But let me tell you what happened. What happened in a span of time from February to May. I call that my grief season. Here's why. In February, I lost the love of my life. He died in a motorcycle accident. My godmother passed away, the woman who helped to raise me and name me. My mother passed away in March. My daughter passed away in April. My best friend's birthday, we'll get to her in a second. One of my best friend's birthday is in April. One of my cousins, who was my person, you always have that person in your life that's like that person that you go to for whatever. She passed away on April 17th, like 4 years after my daughter passed away. So I mourned the death of my daughter on April 16th, and then mourned the death of my cousin on April 17th. Then there is Mother's Day. Back up. There's my daughter's birthday. Then there's Mother's Day. And then my best friend, whose birthday is in April, she passed away in May. So February through May, baby, it's a conundrum. Okay, that's a nice way of putting it. But I've learned over the years how to navigate that. So that's why I call it my grief season, because one thing that I've realized is that grief is not linear. It comes in its ebbs and flows. So I've learned that during this time period how to stock up on things that I need. So it's like the same way that we would take time out to prepare for a major storm or hurricane or prepare for a life-changing event, we need to prepare for when this grief is going to hit us, and we can do that. So I'm going to share three simple things that I do to help prepare for my grief season. And if you're watching the replay or if you're joining in live, please feel free to submit your questions. Use the question button down at the bottom of the screen. It looks like a little thought bubble with a question mark in the middle. Use that to submit your questions, because I don't want to miss anyone's questions. And if you're watching the replay, please leave a comment with your question, or you can always DM me and I will answer questions that way. So 3 things that I do to prepare for my grief season. So first thing you want to do is pay attention to when you're starting to, your moods start to change. Or even if you look on your calendar, like for me, what I did was on my calendar, the month before and 2 weeks before my grief season starts, I have an alarm that goes off. The reason why I have that alarm go off is not that I don't remember, because subconsciously you're going to remember. It's not that I don't remember. It's just so that I'm aware of my feelings changing, my emotions changing, my mood changing. Because sometimes we can get so busy with life, we don't pay attention to those things. So in order for me to be proactive instead of reactive, I just set an alarm. And I'm like, all right, T, this is what's coming up. This is why you're going to act this way. So I'll know how to maneuver that. So I set that alarm. The month before, I make sure I have in place extra therapy sessions. Yes, extra therapy sessions, just in case. I also put in more self-care time for me. So when I talk about self-care time, it's not just massages and getting my nails done. It's things that are going to bring me joy. So times for me to go out and take a walk. Times for me to sit and meditate and do breathing exercises. Times for me to read a good book that is going to be uplifting. So I have a self-care plan in place for those months. Another thing that I do is I pull out my scriptures. So I have scriptures that I read and recite and meditate on. These scriptures help me to deal with the grief, and it helps to put me in a space of remembering God in all of this. Because a lot of times, if you are like me, like a Christian like me, or if you have a higher power that you pray to, a lot of times we question the higher power. So for me, dealing with my grief, I was very angry with God. I was very, very angry with God. And I did not turn my back on him. But it's like when you are mad at your boo thing, you don't really want to talk to him. Like you really don't want to deal with them. But what I had to do was make sure that I had these scriptures in place so I can refer back to them and be in a good space, because I would spiral down very, very quickly. Hey, everyone coming in. Hey. So make sure that, set a reminder so you can be proactive instead of reactive. Pull out scriptures, or if you have affirmations, pull out those things that you can constantly refer back to and review to help to keep you or get you in a good space. You have to keep your mind active and focused on the good things instead of all of the stuff, the losses and the things like that. It's not that you don't think about them. You think about them, but you have to be proactive and get yourself back in a good space. Okay? Third thing that I do, I definitely journal. You're going to hear me say that a lot. I journal because I can't just run around punching people. I journal to get all of those feelings and emotions out because they have to go somewhere, y'all. They have to go somewhere. Those emotions are either going to come out on the road in road rage, or they're going to come out, you snapping at your spouse, you snapping at your boss. Like, they're going to come out. So journaling is a way for me to put all of those emotions in a cute little package. And one thing I love about journaling is being able to go back through my journals to see how far I've come, how far God has brought me, and how much I've grown in this grief. And most of all, how strong I've gotten through this entire process. Because sis is thriving through this. Okay. All right. So definitely journaling. One of the things I tend to do, I tend to protect my space, my mind and my space and my energy a lot more, and stay away from negative people and negative things, and just, things that just make you feel, And I do that because you're already in grief. You're already grieving. So you're already feeling all of these things, and being around negative people and negative things tend to enhance that a lot more. So I protect my space a lot more. During this time, I definitely lean on my support system. I see some of my support system on here right now. Hey fam. But I definitely lean on my support system because they've walked through this journey with me in certain spots too. And like I talk about my girls all the time, my divas. We are still processing the loss of our best friend. So when it's time for her birthday or the anniversary of her passing, we tend to lean on each other a little bit more. And we think about all of the crazy things that our friend did. Because y'all, she was our loudest cheerleader and the most hilarious person. So we have the best memories with her. So we just get together and talk about her, and it just makes us feel better. We miss her dearly, but we're able to have these conversations in remembrance of her. And we all know that she would knock our heads off of our shoulders if we were all sitting around crying. That just wasn't her. But surround yourself with a strong support system. And lean on these people. Like, tell people what it is that you need. If you are struggling, tell somebody. Tell somebody. Yes, Robin. Definitely a clown. That's my best friend. One of my best friends. We got a whole heap of them. But Robin was the one that was like the Medea of the group. She was like the Medea. So very, 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 very missed. But lean on your support system. Tell them what you need. Tell them what you need. And if you don't know what you need, like for me, here's a great idea. For me, with my girls, sometimes I can't articulate what it is that I need exactly. So I'll just send an emoji. So we all know what this emoji means. And somebody's picking up the phone or sending a text or sending a scripture or something to help get me, in a better spot. So even if you can't articulate what you need, what you do is figure it out. What's going to work for your group, and have a plan in place prior to you going into your grief season. So lean on your support system. That's what they are there for, and having a strong support system. I can't stress this enough. Having a strong support system means so much when you're grieving, because these are the people that are like they're like Aaron to your Moses. And if you don't know Aaron and Moses stuttered. Moses got tired during a war, and Aaron was there to lift his hands up. Aaron was there to speak for him. So when you can't lift your hands, when you can't lift yourself up, you have your support system there to help you. So lean on these people. And if you don't have a support system, we need to work on that. Another thing that I do is I allow myself to feel what I feel. So a lot of times with grief, you don't want to feel that stuff. Like you want it to go. I hate to tell you, a lot of times it won't go away. So if you're feeling sad, be in it. Allow yourself to feel what you feel. Your feelings are valid. Your sadness is real. You've experienced a loss. Be in it. And when I say be in it, it doesn't mean that you be in it permanently. There's a big difference. Allow yourself to feel what you feel in that moment, and then figure out ways to get yourself in a better spot. I'm going to say that a lot. Get yourself in a better spot. Because here's the thing, guys. I want you to understand. Grief is not something that you can turn on and off. It's not. Grief doesn't care if it's been 5 minutes, 5 years, 50 years. It does not care about time. It does not care if you're in the middle of the grocery store shopping. It could hit you at any moment. So you have to be proactive and have a plan in place to fight this thing when it shows up. And eventually you'll get to a point where you are not as traumatized by it. Okay? So those are just some simple things that I do when my grief season is approaching. And I hope that those things help you. So here's the thing. I am a coach, okay? I am a grief coach. And what I have coming up is something that's going to bless those of you who are dealing with grief. I have 2 ways where you can work with me. One way is a group coaching program where you will be in a setting. It'll all be virtually because, we're still in the middle of a personal pan pizza. But you're in a group setting where I will be teaching you tips and tools and giving you resources on how to navigate your grief seasons and how to disrupt the cycles of grief. Or you can work with me one-on-one for 6 months and I walk alongside you in your journey. So the group setting is there for building a community and building support. So if you don't have a support system, you can have it here in this group. The one-on-one setting is more personalized, meaning what you are specifically dealing with, that's what we tackle. So the group program, it is a 4-month program. The one-on-one will be 6 months. I'm thinking about changing it to 8, so might be longer, depending on what you guys need. So if you're interested in either one of those programs, click the link in my bio. Why am I pointing? There is nothing there. Click the link in my bio and you can sign up for the waiting list on the group coaching program, or you can schedule a complimentary breakthrough call where we sit and talk about your needs and figure out which program is best for you. So the complimentary call, 20 minutes, you get me and we figure out if coaching is right for you. And sometimes you may need a coach and a therapist, and sometimes you may need a therapist only, but reach out to somebody. So here are a couple of resources that I have for you if you are definitely needing therapy, okay? And there is nothing wrong with therapy, okay? Nothing is wrong with therapy. You're not weak if you go to therapy. You're actually one of the strongest people you will probably ever meet, okay? So always, if you have insurance through your job, check your policy and see what kind of mental health benefits they have. Some mental health plans do include therapists, or you can go to your job's EAP program, which is the Employee Assistance Program, where you can go through a few sessions there for free. Most of them are for free if your job offers that program. If not, check with the American Psychological Association. What you can do is go on their website and pick your city and state, and it will give you a list of psychologists, psychiatrists, therapists who can help you through your seasons. Also, you can check betterhelp.com, which is a great resource for therapists. I love that resource because it's pretty affordable. So if you do not have insurance, they have scholarships that will help you with paying for your therapy, as well as you can go in and there's a survey that you take. So whatever situation you're dealing with, if you're dealing with grief, or if you're dealing with trauma, if you're dealing with abuse, you can go and take this survey and they match you with a therapist. And those items, those appointments are virtual as well. You can either do video or on phone, or some of them are via email. I wouldn't recommend doing email because you want to build a relationship with your therapist. BetterHelp.com is one of those resources. And you can also check OpenPathCollective.com. OpenPathCollective.com. It's the same premise as BetterHelp. You sign up. I'm not sure if they have scholarships. I know they used to. I'm not sure if they still have them now, though. But Open Path Collective, I do know they have a sliding scale payment. So if you are worried about paying for your services, they have a sliding scale and they'll work with you. So there are options out there, y'all. And of course, you got your girl here, but there are options out there. I just don't want anyone to feel like you're going to be stuck in this grief, because you don't have to be. If you're stuck in the grief, you don't have to be. All right. I pray that you get enough strength and enough courage to do something about it. All right. So if you don't know, I am never before you long, because sis got things to do. You know, my face is done up. I think I'm going to go and treat myself to dinner. Probably not, because it's like almost 8 o'clock and I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, so I get tired. But I hope that this info helped you in some kind of way. Please be sure to comment. Please be sure to save this. Please be sure to share it with your people. And we will see you here next time. Go ahead and check that link out in the bio. And have a blessed night. Oh, prayer requests. If you have a prayer request, please feel free to DM me. And I will be here to serve. All right. So, knocking stuff over in my closet. But I love you guys as always. You know that I am here rooting for you, cheering for you, here to serve in whichever way that I can. And I just want you to win. I want you to be healthy. I want you to win. And I want you to go forth and prosper. Is that Star Trek? Star Wars? Star Trek? I don't know. Anyway, y'all, remember, God loves you. I love you. And it ain't nothing you can do about it. All right. Until next time. Bye, guys. Have a wonderful Saturday. Let's see how we're going to take this light off to end this live. Bye,